Jammu and Kashmir forest cover. India is a land of many natural resources. The area under natural vegetation is one of the prime resources for the country's economy and also for the production of many materials. The term forest cover refers to all lands more than 1 hectare in area with a tree canopy density of more than 10%, irrespective of ownership and legal status. Such lands may not necessarily be a recorded forest area. They include orchards, bamboo, and palm. The word canopy in forests refers to the cover of branches and foliage formed by the crowns of trees. The canopy density relates to the percent area of land covered by the canopy of trees. It is expressed as a decimal coefficient, taking closed canopy as a unit. The culturable non-forest area is the net geographical area lying outside recorded forest and forest cover, which can support tree vegetation. Forest inventory is the measurement of certain parameters of forests to assess the growing stock and other characteristics of forests. The term moderately dense forest refers to lands with forest cover having a canopy density between 40 to 70%. The non-forest land is the land without forest cover. The term open forest refers to lands with forest cover having a canopy density between 10 to 40%. In India, protected forests are areas notified under the provisions of the Indian Forest Act or other state forest acts having limited degree of protection. In protected forests, all activities are permitted unless prohibited. The term scrub is used to denote degraded forest land having a canopy density of less than 10%. Trees are large woody perennial plants having a single well-defined stem, bole or trunk and a more or less definite crown. They include bamboos, palms, fruit trees, etc., and exclude non-perennial, non-woody species like banana and tall shrubs or climbers. The term very dense forest is used to refer to lands with forest cover having a canopy density of 70% and above. The forest cover in India is 67.71 million hectares, which is 20.6% of its entire geographical area. Of this, 5.46 million hectares, which is 1.66%, is very dense forests. 33.26 million hectares, which is 10.12%, is moderately dense, and the rest, 28.99 hectares, which works out to 8.82%, is open, including 0.44 million hectares of mangroves. The percentage of forest cover in the hilly regions of the country is 38.85%. And by excluding areas unavailable for plant growth like the snow-clad areas of the country, it totals 52.4%. In India, forest resources are well distributed across the country. The state of Jammu and Kashmir is one of the states of India having a good percentage of forest cover. Jammu and Kashmir is the northernmost state of the country. It shares international borders with Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. The state of Jammu and Kashmir is world famous for its immense scenic beauty. The state has a geographical area of 2,22,236 square kilometers, which lies between latitudes 32 degrees 17 and 37 degrees 5 north and longitudes 72 degrees 31 to 80 degrees 20 east. The state of Jammu and Kashmir is divided into three geographical regions, and they are the Ladakh Valley, the Kashmir Valley, and the Jammu region. The higher regions are covered by Pir Panjal, the Karakorams, and the inner Himalayan ranges. The important rivers of the state are the Chenab, the Ravi, and Jhelum. The reporting area for land utilization in Jammu and Kashmir is 3.781 million hectares. Forests cover an area of about 2.023 million hectares, which is almost 53.5% of the total land area. The land not available for cultivation in Jammu and Kashmir is about 0.582 million hectares, which is about 15.39%. In the state of Jammu and Kashmir, permanent pastures and other grazing lands occupy about 128,000 hectares. The land under miscellaneous tree crops and groves is about 72,000 hectares, which is 1.92% of the total area. The culturable wasteland in Jammu and Kashmir is about 146,000 hectares. Fallow lands other than current fallows occupy about 16,000 hectares. Current fallows occupy about 74 million hectares, which is 1.96% of the total area. The net area sown in Jammu and Kashmir is 0.742 million hectares, which is about 19.62% of the total area. The annual rainfall and temperature in the state range between 600 to 800 millimeters and sub-zero to 40 degrees centigrade respectively. Forest area in the state of Jammu and Kashmir is 20,230 square kilometers. Reserved forests constitute 87.21% of the area. Protected forests 12.61% and unclassed forests 0.18% of the total forest area of the state. About 2/3 of the state's geographical area is under recorded forests. But a substantial part of this is not conducive for tree growth at all, being under permanent snow, glaciers, and cold deserts. The protected areas of Jammu and Kashmir include both national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Open forest cover is found to be 40 square kilometers in size. Scrub cover makes up 4 square kilometers. The district of Doda. The geographical area of Doda district in Jammu and Kashmir is 11,691 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 3,949 square kilometers. Out of this, very dense forest cover is 627 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover, 1,649 square kilometers. Open forest cover, 1,673 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found in an area of a mere 3 square kilometers here. The district of Jammu. The geographical area of Jammu district is 3,097 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 889 square kilometers. Out of this, very dense forest cover is found in an area of 19 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 213 square kilometers. Open forest cover is found to be 657 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found in an area comprising 21 square kilometers. The district of Kargil. The geographical area of the hilly district of Kargil in Jammu and Kashmir is 14,037 square kilometers. The total forest cover here is 21 square kilometers, with moderate to dense forest cover making up 3 square kilometers. Open forest cover is found to be 18 square kilometers, with scrub cover found in an area of 19 square kilometers here. The district of Kathwa. The geographical area of Kathwa district of Jammu and Kashmir is 2,651 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 1,492 square kilometers. Out of this, very dense forest cover is 194 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 625 square kilometers. Open forest cover in the district of Kathwa is found in an area of 673 square kilometers. Scrub cover makes up an area of a mere 6 square kilometers. The district of Kupwara. The geographical area of the hilly district of Kupwara in Jammu and Kashmir is 2,379 square kilometers. The total forest cover here is 1,160 square kilometers. Out of this, very dense forest cover is found in an area of 479 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 358 square kilometers, with open forest cover found in an area of 323 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found in a mere 3 square kilometers area in the district of Kupwara. The district of Leh. The geographical area of the hilly and mountainous district of Leh in Jammu and Kashmir is 45,110 square kilometers. The total forest area is 104 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 46 square kilometers. Open forest covers an area of 58 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found to be 9 square kilometers in size. The district falling outside the line of control. The geographical area of the district outside the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir is 1,20,848 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 6,377 square kilometers, out of which very dense forest is found in an area of 1,340 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 2,470 square kilometers. Open forest cover is found to be 2,567 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found to be 1,793 square kilometers. The district of Poonch. The geographical area of the hilly district of Poonch is 1,674 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 727 square kilometers, out of which very dense forest cover is 174 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover makes up 331 square kilometers, while open forest cover is found to be 222 square kilometers in size. Scrub cover is found in an area of 10 square kilometers here. The district of Pulwama. The geographical area of Pulwama district in Jammu and Kashmir is 1,398 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 257 square kilometers here, out of which very dense forest covers an area of 114 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 89 square kilometers in size, with open forest cover constituting 54 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found in an area of 8 square kilometers here. The district of Rajouri. The geographical area of the district of Rajouri in Jammu and Kashmir is 2,630 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 1,275 square kilometers. Out of this, very dense forest covers an area of 83 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is found in an area comprising 604 square kilometers, with open forest cover making up 588 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found to be 6 square kilometers in size. The district of Srinagar. The geographical area of the hilly district of Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir is 2,228 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 752 square kilometers here, out of which very dense forest cover is 196 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover 306 square kilometers. Open forest cover 250 square kilometers. Scrub cover is found in an area of 16 square kilometers. The district of Udhampur. The geographical area of Udhampur district is 4,550 square kilometers. The total forest cover is 2,878 square kilometers, out of which very dense forest covers an area of 317 square kilometers. Moderate to dense forest cover is 1,275 square kilometers, with open forest covering an area of 1,000 1,492, Anantnag 1,421, Rajouri 1,275, Baramulla 1,159, Jammu 889, Srinagar 752 and Poonch 727. Let us now see the altitude zone-wise forest cover in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Between altitudes 0 and 500 meters, very dense forest covers an area of about 5 square kilometers. Moderately dense forest covers about 187 square kilometers. Open forest covers about 702 square kilometers. And all types put together, it works out to 894 square kilometers. Between altitudes 500 and 1000 meters, very dense forest covers an area of about 147 square kilometers. Moderately dense forest covers an area of about 1336 square kilometers. Open forest covers an area of about 2,170 square kilometers. And all types put together, they amount to 3,653 square kilometers in size. Between altitudes 1,000 and 2,000 meters, very dense forest covers an area of about 680 square kilometers at this altitude. Moderately dense forest covers an area of about 2,522 square kilometers. Open forest covers an area of about 2,136 square kilometers. All types put together, they come up to 5,338 square kilometers. Between altitudes 2,000 and 3,000 meters, very dense forest covers an area of about 2,711 square kilometers at this height. Moderately dense forest covers an area of about 3,493 square kilometers. Open forest 2,607 square kilometers. And all types put together 8,811 square kilometers. Above the altitude of 3,000 meters, at this very high altitude, very dense forest covers an area of about 755 square kilometers. Moderately dense forest covers an area of about 1,439 square kilometers. Open forest 1,796 square kilometers. And all types put together, they total 3,990 square kilometers. In the state of Jammu and Kashmir, in all these altitudinal zones, very dense forest covers an area of about 4,298 square kilometers. Moderately dense forest covers an area of about 8,977 square kilometers. Open forest is found in an area of about 9,411 square kilometers. And all types put together, they amount to 22,686 square kilometers. Let us now see the forest cover in different forest types in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. As per the Champion and Sates classification system of 1968, this state has 39 forest types which belong to 7 major forest type groups, and they are tropical dry deciduous, subtropical pine, subtropical dry evergreen, Himalayan dry temperate, subalpine forests, moist alpine scrub, and dry alpine scrub. The estimated tree cover in the state is 6,764 square kilometers, which is 3.04% of the entire geographical area of the state. Forests have always been of great importance to human beings on this planet. Today, people depend on forests especially for their economic value, their environmental value, and their value for culture and recreation. The science of forestry is concerned with increasing and preserving these values by careful management of the available forest land in any country. In India, it is